Alright, so like my other videos, this one has double audio. I figured it out though, but for this one, the next one, they'll have it. So instead, I'm just gonna voice over for how long is this? 37 minutes. I won't be talking the whole time, really, but yeah, I'll try to do my best to say stuff so it's not just blank silence, and I don't want to find 40 minutes of music for you guys to listen to. My voice has got to be better than that, right? I hope, at least. So you'll see here, we're skipping basically straight to the slimes. A lot of groups do this, like past the 2021 thing. I don't know. Don't really know why. I assume right now that the reason is because it's so difficult to pull multiple of the Flying Tree Stormers together. So yeah. I'm not playing Freezing Rain, as you can see. Plaguefall is pretty much just always display nice dungeon. Yeah, so I kind of gave up on doing too much damage on this. But, you know, it's Spiteful, so I'll be doing a lot. I should have popped a second Icy Veins here. Didn't. Again, Spiteful. So I think I popped one late. Yeah, I do. So. And the late one ends up kind of messing me up. But I know we had just done 24. So I know that we're going to do this guy, go to the Executioner, and then go to the right of the boss, pull some mobs, pull a red slime up, which is pretty common, especially if you don't have a Necrolord, though we have 2, I believe. Yeah, we have 2. Surprisingly, the Shaman is a Necrolord. Surprisingly, to those of you who know the meta is more like Kyrian Shaman. But yeah, so he's using the Earthquake Lego, as you can see there. I tried to tell him to not do single target stuff, right? So yeah, I mean, he pulled the slides with us probably because I said that in response to how our 24 went, which we timed it. We had like 4 minutes left or something, which I also recorded, but you know, it's 25, so just better. So yeah, you'll see that changed this pull, and then with the incinerator, we also pulled extra, but we'll talk about there. You notice the slimes didn't drop any EQ, just one of the benefits of being Horde. The DH just split off racial them all off. I could have done it, but I'm ranged, and also I completely forgot. Been on the alliance for too long, so yeah. It is painful watching myself cast without Icy Veins right now, but it had to be done. Had to be done. Had to use the Icy Veins on the next pack, not this one. So, yeah. For this, might as well mention it. If it's tyrannical, you should always take Necrotic Wound. If it's not tyrannical and you're doing a key that's over like a 21, you should still always take Necrotic Wound. Unless you're playing Freezing Rain, then if you really want a pad, you can take 2 Champions Brands, but that's kind of overkill. So let me spell steal some of the Wonder Glow off here. I don't really like doing it because I drain all my mana anyway, and I mean, I'm playing Frost, I don't do too much damage, but if you're playing Arcane, it can be pretty crazy. I don't actually show it after the run, but my highest damage throughout this entire run was to Spitefuls. It's like 12% of my damage or something. Kind of crazy. Not crazy, but I mean, it just shows the strengths that Frost has this week, which I guess fudges the numbers a little bit. So. This is just fun, you know, spamming Ice Lance. It is pretty annoying. You can see that I get a decent amount of Ice Lance procs here, and that makes it pretty hard to actually cast everything, right? I'm trying to cast literally everything so I don't interrupt my Fingers Frost procs. Really, I should have just completely ignored my Brain Freeze procs, but I was like, I was determined to do them, or try and do them before anything happens, so. You'll see as it gets later on, I'm like, okay, I'll just focus on my Fingers of Frost procs, so that's what you should do. if you know that you're not going to do single target anytime soon, you know you're going to have orb up for a majority of the upcoming time, then you should definitely just send Fingers of Frost and not use the flurry procs, unless if you're an AoE, that is, and you don't have gaps in your rotation. But for that to work, you'd have to know that you're definitely not going to do single target without anything for a good while. As you can see, I mean, it's already got 40 seconds left on the cooldown, and the next pull after this is going to be a 2-pack, and I'll have Frozen Orb back again. So, yeah. I mean, you guys, this is what you came here for, but I got nothing else to talk about. I guess important, if you're doing this strategy, do not frostbolt the red thing, because it runs really fast, but it then runs really slow if it's slowed. Surprising, I know, but it actually runs like way faster when it's not slowed for some reason. So that's why I won't cast Frostbolt on it. You'll see in a few seconds. But anyway, you guys definitely don't care, but I suppose I'll go through an update. If any of you have watched my videos in the past, you'll know that I used to be a dwarf. I am now a blood elf. That's because my guild disbanded on Fate Scribes. Now I'm on the Horde, looking for guilds. Trialed with one this week, and probably staying with them. They're wined and dined on Area 52. We'll see how that goes. Had a good first week with them this week, so yeah. Now we're gonna kill the boss. Woo. This boss is fucking terrifying, right? It's a 25 tyrannical Plaguefall. Hell no. I avoid Plaguefall at all costs in any pug because of this guy. So, but here I am doing 25 tyrannical. Yeah, no, I die. I just die immediately to the Plague Stomp. This didn't happen at 24, and I ended up doing like 10k DPS on this boss or something, which would be normal, just because I hadn't stood in the red stuff, which you don't really need to, because obviously there's Necrolord, but you get double benefit if you do, so yeah. Personally, unless you have a Paladin Ashen Halloween, I'd recommend not staying in the red stuff. Even if you do, I found that having to move for the slime wave and then also move for like the Plague Stomp and stuff just really kind of fucked my damage, so I'd recommend not staying the red slime if you can. But yeah, I just blocked off the dot because I was a little late in blocking the Plague Stomp, so. Yeah, you definitely want to alter Plague Stomp every time. It will be up for every Plague Stomp. It should be up for every Plague Stomp. And it just saves your healer's life. Did you see how much damage that thing did to me? It knocked me down to like 20%. It was actually ridiculous. So here I'm refrosting. They were deciding they were going to kill it anyway, which is fine. So you can see that I've been without Icy Veins this entire fight, basically, because I fucked up and died at the start, which is pretty bad. Okay, so you'll have alter up for every second Plague Stomp, so still good. Should definitely use it every time it's up for that. Healer will love you. It's probably one of the better things to distinguish people who play mage at a better level is if they're actually using their defensives. You don't really have to cast your shield on cooldown, but casting alter time when you know something like this is going to fuck you up is definitely a must. So this thing's dead, and the rest of the key is pretty much easy peasy until we get to the last boss. And that's just how Plaguefall goes, right? So this will just be the routine of us pulling 1-2 mobs at a time. But yeah. I'm not sure if these barrels are really capped, but I mean, we do a lot. I don't know. It would have been cool to pull the other slimes in, but they're very dangerous if you don't keep kicks on them. So, and this guy wanted to save his Incarn for the 2 pulls when we pull the big guy. So. One thing that's really good to do in AoE, if you aren't in Icy Veins, or if it's just larger AoE, say like 6+, instead of casting Frostbolt in between your Fingers of Frost procs from your orb, you can just Arcane Explosion. Arcane Explosion's, I believe, better damage than Frostbolt at like, got just 4 targets. So, yeah. You can actually CC the humanoid right there, and the mob will stop padding, right? So that if you didn't want to kill it and you want to skip it, you could just polymorph him and be good. But we want to kill it, so don't do that. My Icy Veins falls off, unfortunate. That's alright. So I'm not, oh Jesus, voice crack. Anyway, I'm not actually skipping through this. I'm gonna watch the whole like 37-minute long video because I don't know, it's just easier to me than editing at specific parts. So woohoo, you're watching along with me. The most you will probably watch like 5 minutes and skip to the end to see the damage, which we crushed. Stradava, Margrave, I don't know, we're gonna call it Margrave. I absolutely deleted that boss because they let me funnel on it, which was awesome. Once again, this was another suggestion that I made coming from the 24, was to pull these 2 things with Sagadon just so I could have extra cleave damage, and I'll do like decent damage here. I think it looks like the combat timer is still up from last pull, so the damage doesn't translate. Unfortunately, they walked a little too far to the right and they triggered the bombs. You can actually just engage this guy in the middle left area and you won't trigger the bombs. So, but they, I believe, wanted to use 1 bomb set to kill this guy. Which is a little bit dangerous, right? Because he'll pull you in, and if you're getting pulled into the bomb, you're fucking dead. So, yeah. So here you'll see me save my Icy Veins, I believe. I might pop it. But that's mainly because, obviously, the double bombs are going to explode on this, and look, it's already dead. And secondly, I know that the other guy, one, he has a disease that slows your casting speed by a lot because it reduces your haste, and also we're going to pull him with some of the other people, so it's better to have Icy Veins in. I thought that he was going to wait to pull him in. So here I am left jumping to get line of sight while standing by Rune of Power. That's alright. He brings him in now, and then I can Icy Veins. I do unfortunately cancel my Blizzard there, so yeah, don't cancel your Blizzard, kids. I don't know why I'm calling you kids, but yeah, don't cancel your Blizzard. That was me blocking the haste debuff, if you're wondering. So now what we're going to do is polymorph the caster and pull the big guy up to cleave off with the incinerator. And this was, again, mainly, as I said earlier, because I asked them to. For the funnel, I wanted to be able to Icy Veins this thing and get my cooldown back, which I didn't have Frozen Orb, so that was unfortunate. But I believe it still works out. So we're going to go back and kill the double slime pack, because if you didn't notice, we skipped that. And that was mainly to, again, get the red slime for the second boss. On this guy can be pretty helpful to ice block the debuff off once it gets applied. Just look at my debuffs in the upper right hand corner and I'll just tell you when it is. You can tell if it was recently applied, if it has a 15-second duration on it. You can also dwarf ray shield off, or Curing Pot. There you go. That's the thing you should block. That can really help your healers out. All that does is make you take 50% increased fire damage. So, yeah. But that's the thing that makes it hard to heal, because he's constantly pulsating fire damage. I wasn't quite sure what to go here, but I was already at crit cap, and it's a tyrannical 25. So I was like, you know what? We're just gonna go Raging Battle Axe, you know, help the team out a little bit. I would typically recommend going at least one Champion's Brand if you have either low crit or just like 30% crit. But yeah, if you have anything less than 30% crit, you need to look at your. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Just sim yourself. But Champion's Brand is pretty great in AoE. There's not much AoE left in this dungeon though, so that's the main reason why I decided to go for Raging Battle Axe. Yeah, that was unfortunate. And because of this, I'm not actually gonna have Icy Veins on the boss. So, yeah. But I just stand in the red puddle anyway. That was not a Balrez. I believe that was the Gnomish army knife. So. Traditionally, if you're doing the strat with the ooze, you'll lust on the second platform instead of the first, because you have the ooze to give you all the haste, and diminishing returns exist. So, but I didn't have my cooldowns, so I just wanted to ensure that we would be able to do this bomb really quick. I still have no idea how that thing works, so I'm scared my life every time it goes off. I believe it goes in the 4, cardinal directions. So northwest. Wait, never eat soggy waffles. Okay, north. I literally just said it. Yeah, okay, northeast, southwest. Yeah, okay, I don't know. I'm dumb. It's late. It's late at night. Okay, no hate. No hate. Splitting ice hates my life, and so in a second I'm gonna accidentally break this purple slime out, which is pretty bad. Right here, I believe. Yep, there you go. That cost us about 20 seconds probably, so that was pretty dumb. Yeah, I'm still hating it because I wasn't sure if we were gonna re-CC it, and this time they were like, nah, let's just kill it. So, going for the kill. You'll notice I Mirrors of Torment the boss there instead of the ad. Technically this is less damage because the Mirrors damage is going to just do less damage to the boss because the ad is right there, but I'm confident the boss will live the 18 seconds, so I get my triple brain freeze off, and not confident because the slime didn't live 18 seconds that it was going to live 18 seconds. It sounds a bit confusing, I guess, but yeah, that was the thought process. And he transitions every 33% of his HP, I believe. So you'll notice that I'm gonna re-icy veins here in a second, I believe, because he's still got 11% to go. Yep, re-icy veins. This is sick. Look at that. That was just perfect cleave right there. Very happy about that. Now this is where I'm starting to kind of understand how this thing works. So you'll notice I'm just confidently standing right next to it and like 80% sure that I'm not gonna die. Which is great. It looks good for the camera, right? But the fact that I got hit by it earlier looks bad for the camera. Oh, by the way, that thing always goes on your tank, even though it has a circle on you, so just don't stand next to your tank. Of course, if it's rooted, it doesn't go off, which is pretty nice. So part of the good thing about being Frost Mage is that you don't have to CC things, which might be like, what do you mean? Why is that a good thing? Because it's awesome to have Dragon's Breath. Well, then I have to use it, right? Whereas here, I can just keep pumping. You just notice I'm just pumping. I know the shield's about to come off, and I'm like, what does it matter? I'm a Frost Mage. I have no CC, no hard CC, I mean. So yeah. Oh, and then he pulls extra here. Look at this. Ah, oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. The funnel. It's beautiful. It's not even really much funnel. It's the cleave. I can re-icy veins here because I know I'm gonna get back. Very nice. I'm alter here because I don't want to have to leave my rune, and I might get it again. So. One important thing to notice though is if you're altering this, the dot, you should notice how much damage each tick does to you. so you know when you have to alter back, because I've been killed at like, 15% HP because I'm like, oh, I can live one more tick, and I can't live one more tick. That's a problem. So I'll ice block that off. Yep, that cancel macro coming in handy. I took fungus here. The main reason is there's no like large ticks of damage. I don't think the dot triggers from the last boss triggers the 25% damage of your health in a single hit, because I don't think it is 25% of my health in a single hit. Otherwise I would have taken it. I think the fungus is the only thing that helps you with that, so that's what you should take. And there's also really no interrupts here. The only dungeon where it's important to take the interrupt thing is Mist, really, because there's a lot of interrupts in that dungeon, and you can get a lot of damage on the last boss if you secure interrupts on that. So that was Windwalker Monk. I don't know, like he probably just like pressed spin crane kick or some shit. I don't know. He did big damage, so that's cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Spectral Sight imprisoned the first ambusher, which is really nice because killing that alone is a pain. And then I believe they brought it in here. I don't know. They did something with it. So, yeah. If you're not, I would recommend you run the interrupt conduit. Yeah, see, there you go, they bring it in. I would recommend you run the interrupt conduit, where on a successful interrupt you reduce the cooldown of your own interrupts. It really helps with kicks going off in Mythic Plus. So it allows you to solo a decent amount of things as well. So for instance, I can solo the Sniper's cast to summon the Spider, which you probably solo even with a 24-second interrupt. But yeah, that's nice. There's another one that you can solo. I'm trying to think what it is, but honestly I don't remember. Anyway, this is a great boss that you can funnel. If you go into it with Orb up, I would recommend holding Orb, because the assassins spawn about 12 seconds in. So instead, I just opt to go for the Blizzard and wait. I'm holding Rune of Power for the assassins because I will be cleaving on them. I go for another Rune of Power because, as you can see, my Frozen Orb's about up. Send it, and then I Frost Nova. I'm doing that to shatter my Frozen Orb, as you should know. If you don't, you can, I guess, watch my Frost Mage guide. Skip to like 3/3 of the way through it. It's bookmarked. But anyway, you can see I also have Icy Veins back up, which is pretty nice. And I'm just going to do that literally every time the ads come up. You see Assassins in 2 seconds. Frozen Orb is about to be back up. Icy Veins is up. So I'm holding my Icy Veins so I can use that Rune of Power because my Rune of Power is currently off cooldown, and everything. I think I'm gonna live here. Haha, it's a 25 tyrannical. I get fucking one shot through my shield and full HP. So, yeah. I did have mirrors up though, so I probably would have lived to face mirrors. That's alright. Luckily, these people are nice enough to not do that much AoE damage, so I can still get a little bit of funnel on the boss and get some Icy Veins CDR when I come back up. I am kind of curious, I guess for those of you that watch this far as this kind of a question, would you like for me to do timestamps to the videos? For instance, I can timestamp the boss fights, how long they last and everything, so you can know if you want to watch a specific fight or specific trash when to skip to. It would be pretty simple. It would just be like, first boss trash, so Globgrog, trash, Globgrog, kill, and then Dr. Ictivus, trash, Dr. Ictivus, whatever his name is, boss fight, right, and all that stuff. But honestly, I don't really think people would care about that because most of you probably aren't watching for a specific boss. You're watching because you got like kind of bored, or you wanted to learn some about Frost Mage. So yeah, don't think most people watch this for kind of targeted things. I would recommend, however, if you're a little bit curious, watching. I'm gonna make a 24 Mist video that I also have to voice over record because I had the same echo problem as the Necrotic Wake in this video. That'll probably come out tomorrow from whenever you're watching this. That one, it's pretty good one to watch because I'm going to talk about what you should do on Ingra with your cooldowns, and kind of what key levels I do, you know, what on. So I mean, if you don't watch the video, basically on like 20 plus keys, or actually on any key, I always Icy Veins to start and Frozen Orb to start as well. And then if you just spam Blizzard, or your Frozen Orb should be up before the first boss burn. If you're on a very high Tranquil key, like a 24, then you can get 2 Frozen Orbs out before the boss burn, which obviously makes your cleave damage quite high on the boss and the tree, so that's good. And then you always save your rune in case you get to the boss burn, though if you're on a high Tranquil, you don't need to, because your Icy Veins will be back up from using 2 Frozen Orbs on cleave, that you'll actually be able to Icy Veins the every burn as well. So if you're in that same situation, do not Icy Veins on the slimes. It's way better to do it on the actual boss room, all those tiny things. I might actually get back, it looks like. Somehow that thing didn't auto me. Very lucky. Okay, do not get it back. Yeah, it would be nice to do it here, because here you can get a bunch of CDR. And then this is like, just look at that beauty of a Ring of Frost. Got Spiteful weeks, awesome. I should have blinked before doing all that so I could Frost Nova, but it's not gonna matter. I'll still get my Icy Veins back because it's Spiteful and everything. So the tank rushed over to tank those instead of the ones that we had just been on. I didn't really need to do that because I had Mirror's Image, but he's trying to keep me alive, so that's nice. We're a little bit low on time, so you're gonna notice we're just gonna instantly pull the boss. I re-Icy Veins because I knew I'd get a lot of cooldown reduction, right? So I only got a minute left with like half of my Icy Veins left. So we're looking pretty good. Looking ready to pump. Unfortunately got a bad spawn. But yeah. And you'll see that we actually decided to Lust P1, which is super weird, right? People do not Lust P1. The reason we did that was because our monk's cooldowns weren't actually up. I decided to step into the red thing and I was like, wait a second, Infectious Rain is going off. I'm gonna fucking die if I do that. So I didn't. I think we definitely could have saved a lot of time here if we didn't kill Oros. You don't really need to kill Oros. You also kind of don't really need to kill Sidon. But, you know, they're pretty easy, and you can see like on 25, if you're doing this damage, you have enough time, really. So I'm pumping this fight. I'm doing 15.6k right now, and at this point I'm like, hey guys, let's try and leave these things alive so that I can funnel, right? And they're not hitting them. which is good. I should be casting Blizzard here. I don't know why I wasn't. That was pretty dumb. Especially on those two. The one that's almost dead and whatnot. Instead, I wait till now to cast Blizzard. But I have Icy Veins up again. I'm gonna pot, maybe. I tried pressing it, but I was casting, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll press again. I'm gonna Ice Block. This is also a really good thing to Ice Block. Not yet, but once you reach 4 stacks. Yep, there you go. So you get no ticks left on you. Again, you'll see they'll mostly leave this for me to funnel in the last phase, but it won't matter. The boss will just die. I definitely should have been casting Blizzard on the ads earlier though. That was dumb. So. As you can see, that hurts a lot. Good thing I have Alter and our healer's monster though, so. And then we timed the key. I was hoping to get some haste first gloves out of here because I'm doing some PP right now to try and get my badge for 9.1.5. I did not. That's unfortunate. We'll make do. So yeah, thanks for watching.